All right, shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off first and foremost by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Kakadash. Double honors to the elder and apostle, great millstone, who will teach well. Peace, love, salutations to those who are doing this work in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Nathaniel from the GMS Camp Atlanta, coming back at you the spirit with another lesson. I pray I hope this lesson is edifying. Now, there's been rumors that the Federal Reserve Bank has been boarded up. And I got this article here, right? And it's from Reuters, and it says fact check: video shows renovation works at Federal Reserve building. Now, going to 2 Corinthians 2:11, it says, "Least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." So we do know already that the banks are going to collapse. We know already that all hell is about to break loose very soon. So is it unthinkable to think that this Fed could possibly be, they could be putting a wall around the Fed to protect it from, potential runs on the bank? It doesn't seem too far-fetched because they're talking about, and I'm going to play this video, but in this article here in the Fact Checkers, they said a year-old video of the Federal Reserve board building with white barricade has resurfaced on social media that says it is preparing for possible protests due to banks not having enough cash in their reserves. In reality, the barricade has been on the building because of renovations and works. Now, years ago they were saying the same shit, something about Walmart, about how they were reventilating the pipe, revamping the pipes, and that's why they were closing all the Walmarts. Well, kind of find out later on that Walmart is closing its stores due to it's not getting the same foot traffic and theft and all that stuff. So they're shutting it down. Well, we know already they're shutting it down because of the economy. Okay? And the Federal Reserve System, if you know anything about the Fed, this is where the money system comes from. This is how America gets its money. It borrows money from the Fed. And the more money it borrows, the more inflation happens. Now, if you know anything about the dollar at one time was the petrodollar. Okay? It was at one time the petrodollar. And in 1974, Henry Kissinger went and he spoke with the Saudi prince in regards to making the dollar, the Federal Reserve note as the reserve currency, basically telling them that, hey, if you allow us to if you exclusively use dollars for the sale of oil, we'll use our military to protect your fields and all that stuff. But now the BRICS nations have taken out, they haven't renewed their charter, right? And Saudi Arabia and all of the other OPEC producing countries, the oil producing countries of OPEC, they're no longer siding with the United States. They're going with BRICS. Okay? If you know anything about BRICS, BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. All right? And they created a coalition to rival NATO. All right? That's what they've done. They created a coalition and they have their own currency. And all of the big oil producing countries are now going over to BRICS because they know that the United States is untrustworthy. Well, if you know anything about the dollar, right, you know that the dollar is inflated because it is the world reserve. It was the world reserve currency. So all of these other nations that were carrying the dollar are no longer carrying them. So they have to redeem their value from something. And since they can't redeem their value in those other nations, they come back to America. And now you need more dollars to buy the same thing because there's so many dollars in circulation. The intrinsic value of the dollar has decreased substantially to the point to where it's about to collapse. So what do you think people are going to do when the dollar collapses and they got all their money in these banks? Do you think that they're going to just say, oh, my money go? No, they're going to riot. Same thing they were doing in China because one of the banks in China just collapsed and you had people outside of the bank. So people all across the country are going to go to these Federal Reserve banks and these these big banking conglomerates, and they are going to be angry. They're going to be angry, and they're going to want their money. So I believe it is true, and this is actually preemptive. Okay, it says the image is, and see, they got to defend it. The image is from a July 9th TikTok video showing a white barricade outside of the Marianer's Eclades Building, which is the headquarters of the Federal Reserve System's Board of Governors on Constitution Avenue in Washington. And the Board of Governors are the people who run the whole thing. Okay? So, of course, they will put something up to protect the Board of Governors from being strung out of there, taken out and strung up. Okay? Because that's what these people are going to do if they... that's what they're going to do once they lose their money. Because, you know, hey, once people lose everything, they lose it. When you have nothing to lose, you lose it, or, you know, something to that effect. And that's what's going to happen. And it says the same video appeared as early as January 2023 in a post questioning whether or not the barricade was due to a potential bank run forthcoming. Why? If y'all, how long does it take to make renovations? If this wall has been up all that time, and y'all say y'all using it for renovations, why is it still up? Okay? Because we understand what's about to happen. We know that these banks are about to fail and the money system is about to fail. We know this already. Okay? Because it's in scriptures, it's prophesied. It's happening right now. All right, this is Revelation. This is Revelation 6:6, and it says, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts saying, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Now, this is talking about, you know, when you go back into the Roman Empire, they were paying a day they would get paid a penny for a day's wage. And they were using that same penny to buy a meal just for one person. You know? And the scripture is liking that onto today. It's going to take you a whole day's wage just to get a meal for that day. You see? It ain't going to be no more, I got enough money to where I can buy off of one day's wage. I can buy this and buy this and buy that. That ain't happening no more. That's about to go bye-bye. All right? So what do you think happens what do you think is going to happen when a person who has money and they're trying to use that same money that they've been accustomed to buying the things that they need with it no longer have that value? What do you think they're going to do? They're going to go after those people. All right? So they're making, I believe personally, they're doing this preemptively. Now I'm going to let this guy right here speak, you know, the tattoo, and I don't know if that's a tattoo or a birthright. I'm going to let him speak so y'all can hear. Because, hey, people are becoming aware of what's happening. And these people that are in power, they know already. They know what's going down. Okay? And they do exactly what they always do. They preemptively lie so that you won't question the narrative. But as Elder Malcolm will always say, these people have lost control of the narrative. They don't control the narrative anymore. So this wall is a preemptive thing so that they can save off people from coming to get these governors that done ruined everything for them. Because, you know, hey, y'all done ruined Esau's life. You know, Esau had this perfect American dream vision, and his Edomite brethren has ruined it for him. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this. Just a little bit.
Yeah, they just start boarding up the Federal Reserve for whatever. People start figuring out they ain't got no goddamn money in there. They gonna start going crazy. Let's get into this video.
Yeah. This is the Federal Reserve. Nothing federal or reserve or anything to do with the government, if you're aware. They did have, for a while, fencing up around here, but this, I would say this is probably in the last month. This is relatively new. These walls. I feel like they're blowing the shit up. Sorry for the language. So let's just hope they're gonna flood this mother and bring it down. Alright, so that's the update. By the way, I hate coming down here when there's pedestrians and sightseers. It's annoying. Sorry to be a joy killer for people that are sightseeing in DC.
All right, so you see that, you know, people are noticing, hey, they seen this, like, why is this building boarded up like that? Why another building's boarded up all around like that? Because this is the place that controls the money. Okay? And we know already that, hey, things are already getting expensive. So you think they're gonna stop getting expensive while they printing billions and billions and trillions of dollars? No, things are they're gonna get more expensive. And when things become more expensive, it's gonna become hyperinflated. What do you think these people are gonna do when they realize that the money that they have is worthless? Okay. Look, I'm gonna look see. Let's see. Because in Venezuela, they were throwing the money in the street. Okay? In Venezuela, they were throwing the money in the street. Let's see. It's like, let's see. Let's see if it come up, just yeah. So yeah, this is the Venezuelan dollar. When the economy collapsed, they're making purses out of it. Okay, it's in the street, making you see it has no value because the money is super inflated. All right, when you see this right here, this is a telling picture. A street in Venezuela littered with discarded, worthless money. Okay, discarded, worthless money. You see that? And you see he on a bike, so this is a modern picture. This ain't nothing that happened. You got power lines and all that stuff. Ain't nothing that happened, 200 years ago. This is recent. All right, we already know when Venezuela collapsed. So the same thing is going to happen here, just grander. It's going to be a bigger collapse. And these people are going to run on the bank. They're going to do a run on the bank. This is Ezekiel 7:19. It says, they shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold should not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. They should not be satisfied. They should not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is a stumbling block of their iniquity. You see? So the dollar is going to become worthless, just like the money has become worthless in all these other countries. It's going to become absolutely worthless. And people are going to be casting their money out into the street and burning it. It's going to become a new tool. And I just showed you in the images in Venezuela how they were using it to make purses and trinkets and all that stuff because it has no value. Okay? So for him to say, for this article to say, well, they're renovating, we know that's a lie. We know that's a lie. This is a means to protect those people that are inside that are governing this system. Because they're the ones that are at fault. They're the ones that's creating all this shit. And people know this. So you can't use the excuse. Where's the when in this video, right? She said they're renovating it, right? Where is all of the renovation equipment? She's pretty much she didn't show
start going crazy. Let's get into this video.
She didn't show the girl that's recording this, she didn't show any type of equipment for renovation. Okay? There aren't any people out there renovating it. So what's really going on? Because this is a preemptive measure to protect them from a potential run on the bank. That's it. And look how far it goes down. Okay? Look how far it goes down. So we know through the Spirit, the Lord said that this system was going to collapse. Okay? The Lord said that. And when we go to, this last precept and bring out this Habakkuk, I bring it out all the time. It's Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. This is Habakkuk 2 and 6. It says, shall not all of these things take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his, taking things that don't belong to you, stealing through usury and fraud and war, and to him that laden himself with thick clay. You think creating a debt-based system ain't gonna come back to bite you in the ass, but look, it is. This thing is about to fall apart any day now. And the dollar is not gonna, it's gonna become worthless. If you use the inflation calculator, let's see if I can pull it up real quick. All right. So it says, if in 1913 I purchased an item for $1, then in 2024 the same item will cost me $31.73. You see that? Let's see. Let's go to 1980. You see? So from 1980, from 2000 to 2024, it would take you 82 cents more to get the same thing that you would have gotten back in 2000. Okay? Which shows you that there's an 82% increase in the dollar. Now, if you go back to 1913, right? You go back to 1913 and you hit calculate. It's 3,073.5% inflation. So the dollar's through. Okay? The dollar's through. Right? So, and it's because this is a debt-based system. They just keep piling debt on top of debt on top of debt. And the money that they create is used to service old debt while they create new debt. And then that money, the new debt that they create becomes money to service the old debt. And you wash, rinse, and repeat. So then the system is subject to fail because the money only becomes more and more inflated, and it takes more money to buy real world items. And that's it. That's it. That's all. Okay. So when they sit there and they say, "Oh, hey, we putting this up because we renovated," they're really lying. Okay, we're not ignorant of your devices. This is for protection. Okay, because there are bank collapses happening all over the world right now, but they're all fractional reserve systems. All right, and America is the biggest fractional reserve system, and truly, I believe they're just going to stave it off until the end of the elections, and that's just me speaking as a man. Once they realize who's in office, they're going to stave it off, and they're going to collapse this thing. Okay. So yeah, so with that, I pray it's an edifying lesson. We ended off by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Shem, Yahweh Shai, Shem, Rakakadosh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles. Until the next time, brothers, I say shalom.